Hello everyone and welcome to the spinning bike class guidance video. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to set up your spin bike and also the different positions. There's three main positions, the first one being the seated flat. This is going to help build some speed and endurance in those leg muscles. You then also have the standing climb. This is a position where you're more upright. It's going to work a lot more of those leg muscles, the glutes as well, to drive you forwards, and it's going to replicate almost climbing a hill. And then we've also got the seated and standing alternation. Now this is a combination of both. You'll do this in some of the workouts like the rhythm ride class, for example, which will work out towards the beat and also go between seated and standing variations. This is quite upbeat and high tempo, and all of that movement is great for cardiovascular fitness and stamina and endurance building, okay? So we're gonna go through these positions separately, but for now, I'm gonna take you through the bike setup, okay? So for the bike setup, the main thing you wanna do is make sure that the seat is level with your hip, okay? And you can adjust it underneath here by turning this knob and just raising it up and down, okay? So make sure it's hip level. Once your seat is adjusted, you can also adjust whether it's being forwards or too far back. Again, when you're sitting down, you don't want to be straining too far forwards or you don't want to be too tight on the bike. So you can adjust it by turning this knob underneath and just sliding the seat forwards or back. Make sure it's a comfortable position so you're not straining yourself and reaching too far forward. Okay? Next up, we also have the height of the handlebars. So for the height of the handlebars, ideally you want to level with the seat, slightly below it. Make sure you're comfortable again, not straining when you're having to reach out. Once that's level and everything's set, you also have this knob here. So again, you can turn it to increase the resistance or turn it the other way to reduce the resistance, okay? You can also push to stop and use this to safely enter and exit your bike, okay? So to safely get onto the bike, you're gonna place one hand on the handlebars. You're gonna push down on the push to stop. You're gonna place your feet in. Once your feet's in, you're gonna swing your leg over and you're gonna be in this seated position, okay? So make sure once you're in the seated position, when the pedal's like this, your knee slightly bent and it's over the handlebars. Once you're comfortably like this, you'll know you're in a safe position. And again, guys, when you grab the handlebars, you know you don't want to be reaching too far forwards or straining yourself. So that's why it's really important we adjust those levels, okay? Once you're in this position, then you can start to cycle. You can also see you have a dial here. On this dial, it's going to track your cadence and the resistance. So again, you can look at that dial and see if you're hitting the correct tempo as you perform your workout. All right. So this is the seated flat position. You can turn the resistance to 1, and again, your cadence will be at 90. You can see that on your dial here. Okay. We're just going to hold this now for 2 minutes. And this will be your seated flat position, guys. Good, deep breaths in and out, get used to this position. Again, for the seated flat position, keep the chest nice and tall, shoulders back, core engaged, and we're pedaling away. Notice we have different hand positions and placements. So you can have the hands like this, you can have it like so, or even further forwards, okay? Me personally, I like to be a bit more upright for my seated flat position. And when I perform some standing climbs, I grab onto the handles as I'm leaning more forwards, okay? Onto these ones. But for now, we're just maintaining this position on the seated flat position. Cycling away. Good, just another 90 seconds here. Deep breaths in and out. Just focus on your breathing, guys. Get used to this position. Get a feel of the cadence as well, the tempo. So cadence will be at 50. So a nice light cycle. Again, this is just so we can get used to how the bike feels and making sure we're set up correctly. Brilliant. Just here for another minute, team. Again, keeping that chest nice and tall. Arms slightly locked with a slight bend, making sure you're nice and stable. And again, shoulders back, chest up, so you can take deep breaths in and out. That's the one. Good, another 45 seconds. Cruising through this, team. Really, really good work. So seated flat again, guys, is really good for building strength and endurance in those legs. Again, it's really good for any kind of speed work as well. If we're going really fast tempo on the bike, this is the perfect position to do so. Again, for speed, kind of tempo exercise, what I do is I bring the handles forwards, I stay nice and low, and I drive a lot faster. So there's many ways to be sat on the bike, especially in the seated flat position. But the main thing is you want to be nice and comfortable throughout. All right, last 10 seconds, then we're gonna move on to a standing climb. For the standing climb, I'm gonna keep the resistance at 1. Your cadence will be at 50. And then we're just gonna shift the weight forwards now, okay? In 3, 2, 1, let's go. And shift your weight forwards, grab onto the handlebars, good. That's it, this is your standing climb, team. Again, keeping the chest nice and tall, shoulders back. Make sure you're not swaying side to side too much. Keep yourself nice and level. And we're just driving, okay? You can also hinge at the hips. It's gonna fire the glutes a lot more. Again, this position here is supposed to replicate you climbing up a hill, or cycling up a hill rather. So you should really feel it in those leg muscles, feel it in the glutes and the quads and the calves. It's a real good exercise to really build strength and power in your leg muscles, okay? So you're gonna be utilizing this exercise a lot in your workouts as you progress through them. But the standing climb is a staple exercise that's gonna help improve your speed and endurance on the bike, okay? We're just here for another minute, so get used to this feeling. Make sure you're leaning over, shifting your weight forwards, and you're not leaning back, okay? So you're shifting your weight forwards, grabbing nice and tight, keeping yourself stable. Just here for another minute. And again, making sure that you're nice and tall. You don't want to be hunched or caved like this. Keep yourself nice and upright, and we drive, okay? This is gonna benefit you a lot. You're gonna feel the lungs working overtime, the lactic acid build up in those legs as well. It's totally normal, guys, but it's a really good position to strengthen those legs, okay? Just here for another 30 seconds. Deep breaths in and out. Take your time with this. Brilliant stuff. After this, we're gonna move on to some seated and standing alternation. So just mixing the two positions together, okay? This is gonna involve a lot more speed and agility work. But for now, this one here is the powerhouse builder. This one's really gonna build all of those leg muscles to make them nice and strong. Okay, final 10 seconds here. You're almost done. You guys are cruising through this. All right, next up, seated and standing alternation. All right, in 3, 2, 1, let's go. We go from seated and then now into standing, okay? It's the seated and standing alternation. So seated and then standing, good. We wanna try and do this in a rhythmic motion. So from shifting the weight side to side, that's it, forwards and backwards. From seated to standing, okay? This is amazing, guys, good, keep going. This will test your speed and agility on the bike once more. And again, it's gonna get the lungs working. It's a really tough exercise to do, but with practice, you'll be able to nail it, okay? Awesome work. Just seated and standing alternation. We're just here for another 90 seconds or so. Again, take your time with it. Utilize the different grips. Good. Take your time with it. Amazing work, team. That's it. Find that balance, find that rhythm, and then just sit on it. Hold this tempo to the end. Final minute now. Good. Really good stuff, guys. Again, this works the lungs a lot more because you're moving constantly. So it's quite tough on the lungs. Make sure you're breathing to take in the oxygen. Good. From seated to standing, okay? Lovely stuff. Make sure you're comfortable and you're not swaying too much side to side. Just take your time as you shift your weight from back to up top, okay? From that seated position, good, to standing. Last 30 seconds, team. Good, seated and then standing, nice. Keep that balance, take your time with it. And then into standing. Last 15 seconds, team, doing amazing. And then standing. Almost there, final few seconds. And then standing, last few now, almost there, team. 3, 2, 1, and time, super. All right, now to exit the bike, we're gonna push to stop, hold onto the handlebar, and then we bring the leg over, okay? That's how you exit the bike, nice and safely. Amazing stuff, team. Remember these positions when you're utilizing them throughout your workouts. Again, that was the bike setup, so how to set up the bike. Once again, the main pointers here, make sure the seat is nice and level to the hip. Make sure you're not overstretching onto the handlebars. You want to feel nice and comfortable on your bike. Make sure that your knees are slightly over your toes when you're about to pedal. And then once that's set up, make sure that you enter the bike safely. So again, hand on the handlebars, push to stop, and then go over, okay? And same thing on the way down to exit the bike. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Take note of these tips. Understand those 3 key riding positions: the seated flat, the standing climb, and the seated and standing alternations. and you'll be just fine with your workouts. For now, it's been your coach Tayo. I'll catch you all in the next one.